For my real world project, I chose to take care of an event, which was the ICEA send off. And what I was gonna do is that I was gonna take care of the sound and lights and anything basically tech related that they needed so that the event could be successful. So here's the planning. So I started off with some goals to lead my research into how I was going to do the project. So obviously this was a SMART goals which had to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And this was just to make sure that I was actually going to be able to do my project and the different aspects of how I was going to do it, as you can see. And then I needed to find out what I needed to find out in order to be able to do my project. So this was the inquiring and analyzing stage. Here's some of the questions you see I posed to myself for research. Some of them are, as you can see, how would we go about setting up lights in the gym? Because it's not a specific venue like the theater, which has a nice lighting setup. Or like, what skills would we need to set up any special effects, and so on. So here you can see I went to the gym and I looked around and I took some pictures and I planned out the event. As you can see, I found the inputs, the sound for the speakers, where everything was going to happen, and then I made a little plan of everything and how it was going to happen. And yeah, so then what I had to do was I had to gather equipment. So that was basically a wireless mic since I would be unpractical to make a wireless mic all the way to the center of the gym. I had to go to the gym with Miss Atini so she could explain the setup to me and Nava, who I was doing the project with. And I had to make a playlist for the music, and then I also met with the activities department to see what I was going to have to help with, or like what they needed help with. So here's some of the contacts that I used during the project to help me out with what I needed. And then I say doing the project with an S here because yeah, I ended up doing other events. So this was the original, which was the SES send off, and here I'll play you part of the clip of it. And as you can see, we were playing the music, and the event was happening. So yeah, and we were behind controlling all the sound and music. Anyways, this was the plan for it. So we had here a wireless microphone, the computer playing music. So the thing is that after this, I felt as if I hadn't done enough. I'd only really played music and set up a microphone, which I didn't feel was enough for my real world project. So I found some other events I could do. Here was a second event, which I went to Miss Atini and asked her if she had anything. She checked her calendar. She told me she had an elementary karaoke that she had to set up, so I offered to set it up for her. So I went with her and I carried the equipment, and then I set it up. And as you can see here, this is composed of two speakers, some microphones, and a piano. So here you can see the setup, which was, as you can see, a bit more complicated than the previous one. So you see the power cables, the XLR cables, and everything. And then even after this, I felt like I could still do something else, just to make my real world project a bit better. So I asked Mr. Ross if he had any events. He told me open mic, but on the day of it, I had class that I had to skip to go set it up. So we decided to just stay there during the running of open mic to see how everything works, and then clean it up, everything, and pack everything away. So as you can see, I made a diagram here of the setup of open mic. So we had a soundboard and we were playing everything. And then this was useful to me because I managed to apply some of the skills I learned during boot up, such as coiling cables, setting up mic stands, and so on. So here's for reflection. Miss Attini was very heavily involved in my project. She was the one showing me things. She was the one coordinating the event, some of the events. So here she just wrote a reflection of how I did in the real world project. Thank you for listening to my presentation.